Happy Memorial Day. Greetings, everyone. Happy Memorial Day to you. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And if you're off today, even better. Y'all got to excuse me. I'll be in and out of focus. Another one of my late mornings, well, after 8 o'clock is late for me, 8 a.m. rather, to be cooking some breakfast. But so I went out last night to the little friendly barbecue. And just as I suspected during the barbecue last night, I was there 15 minutes, a fight broke out. Apparently people started celebrating really early. For their Memorial Day weekend. Two guys got into a fight over this one lady. Believe it or not, they still doing that. Yes, people still do that. So, from what I gathered during the argument, guy shows up with this man's ex-wife, and they apparently didn't know each other, but some words were exchanged. You know, she became the B word, the W word, the H word, the whole nine. Your mom ain't this, all that stuff. Luckily, nobody was dumb enough to go get a weapon. And everybody was still better let them clowns fight each other. And what was funny to me, she's standing there with a smirk on her face because she's getting off to the fact that she's got two men fighting over her. Now, when the ex-husband started mess, look, man, it was over and done with. Why are you starting? I don't know what's going on with my floor, but the argument was over and done with. Why are you arguing with this woman? Over nothing. Excuse me, y'all. So like I was saying, the argument jumped off, two men fighting. If you're already online right now, happy Memorial Day to you. And y'all gotta excuse me, I'm gonna be in and out of the camera. I'm gonna make coffee, making me some sausage, but I'm gonna tell you the story. So good morning to you all. So the two guys got into a fight over this woman between the ex-husband and I guess her new man. I was at the barbecue probably 15 minutes and all hell broke loose. Luckily, nobody pulled out any weapons. It was a good old-fashioned ass whooping. The ex-husband started it, calling her all kind of names, and this, and that, and the third. Well, the husband ended up getting his ass whooped. And so they just went back and forth with words. And she was standing there the whole time with a smirk on her face. I actually think she was getting off on it. She was getting off having these two guys fight over her. Now, hello, everybody. Once again, I don't know what they saw in this woman because obviously there had to have been something good about her. But the way these two cats was going at each other, I don't know what's on my floor, but it's sticking to my house shoes. The way these two cats was going at each other, you would think this been a long feud. Now, the ex-husband did accuse the dude, man, you with my woman when she was with me, this, and the third, all this kind of stuff. And the ex-husband goes on talking about, yeah, when I was locked up, I know y'all had something going on when I was down for 5 years. First of all, ladies, you don't need to be waiting on no man that's doing 5 years away from you, especially in jail. I ain't saying break up with him. I'm just saying. So ex-husband, they tussling, going back and forth. Ex-husband got a good 3 or 4 blows in. Now, ex-husband was a lot bigger than this dude. But that don't always mean anything. That fella whooped that man ass. I mean, he gave him an old-fashioned ass whooping. Like I said, luckily nobody went and pulled out any weapons. and they wasn't knocking over any food. So while the ex-husband fighting the guy, it was a guy's brother that had a good friend of mine that had the barbecue. Okay, I'm looking at him, he looking at me. I'm steady whipping up my hunch punch that I said I was gonna take, and I took. Boy, that was a good fight. I felt like I should have put money on that fight. That went on for a while, tussling, rolling around. It wasn't all this holding each other, grabbing hair. No, they were swinging. I'm talking about they were swinging. That grown man fight, they were fighting for real, for real. When all this other stuff that you see, I ain't seen a good ass whooping like that in a long time. Boy, I enjoyed that. And something popped up. I was watching some old news where I think this was some years ago. I don't know. It could be recent, but it happens a lot. So apparently somewhere, I think in Georgia, and I don't think this recent news, but these three teens at the time, three of them, and this could be new. They broke into this man's house while they were armed. Dude killed all of them. Now, and I think I might have been scrolling through my phone this morning. But anyway, they was talking about the man should have charges brought against him. But, you know, here in the state of Georgia and a lot of states, it's the stand your ground law. Somebody come up in here. Don't let me get mine. I ain't threatening nobody. I'm just saying these young cats need to realize people ain't playing with them. You know, go out there and get a damn job. Stop messing with other people's stuff, first of all. You know, and especially a lot of you, your uncles and your dads and fathers or step whatever's. Try to offer these young cats something to do. If you got a shop, let them work around the shop. Get them something to do. Because there's too many people, like the one I saw yesterday walking up and down the street while I was at the barbecue. He was pretending he was on the phone, but he looking at people's cars. So I'm standing in the front yard at that time because I hadn't been there long. And I'm watching him. He's walking by and he kind of glanced over at me and I just waved at him, let him know that, hey, we see you. But he's walking like he's on the phone looking at people's cars. Now, you can't judge a book by the cover, but he did have that look. Like, he looked like he could have been 22, 21. He looked like he's already made some bad choices. He looked like, you know, the dope life don't got a hope to him. And I'm saying to myself, I sure hope this young brother ain't finna come out here and lose his life trying to break in somebody's car. And that's all I kept thinking. You know, I sure hope he's not about to lose his life trying to break in somebody's car. And I kept saying it to myself. Finally, he went on about his business, but you know, during the 15, 20 minutes I was there, because I already knew it was going to be some mess. But something told me it was going to be some mess. That's why yesterday I said I wasn't going to stay long. I kept peeping around the corner. So he went on about his business. I knew that young cat had no good intentions. That's why he was looking at people's cars. He was looking down, looking around like he's on his phone. And I know he wasn't talking to nobody. Now, you might suffer a minor break-in or something like that. It happens, you know, in a major city, but I think something needs to be done, some kind of better awareness for these young cats that are doing this stuff. And they're out here thinking nothing can touch them. There's too many of y'all losing your lives and going to jail over some foolishness. It's way too many. I mean, you got all these young males in prison right now for murder. You know, you got young ladies in prison for murder. And he reached 25 when they went in. But I wonder, what are they, and I don't use it. This is my question to those of you that do smoke. You smoking this manufactured stuff. I really wonder, what are they putting in this stuff that's got people acting the way they act? Because I know for a fact, if I drink a certain liquor, that brown, like they said, brown make it clown. Yes, it does. I know for a fact if I drink a certain thing and I drink too much of it, my mood changes. Now, if I'm aware that my mood is changing And that's why I really stopped drinking all that liquor. Not that I drunk a lot of it, but I know better now. If my mood changes like that, I know not to keep messing with it. You would think people, you would think other people would, you would think other people would probably think the same way. And if y'all don't think that stuff is affecting you, remember back when, okay, let's talk about all these different versions of sexual enhancement they got out here that they pushed in the community for these young people to take. Now, y'all remember that wasn't always the case. But now it seems as though they are pushing these enhancement pills on the youth. Now you take all these chemicals that they're already putting in their bodies through smoking, drinking, and then they got them taking these honey packs and this pack and all these other things, mixing all that stuff in their bodies. What do y'all think is gonna happen to y'all when y'all get older? Do you think? And this ain't about race because it's across the board. Every race is doing it. But do you think it's gonna be more people? And I'm not gonna get on some conspiracy theorist type stuff, but they keep talking about Social Security phasing out. If Social Security phasing out, what better way to save some of the money and not run out of it? Start back killing off people. That's why they're putting all these drugs out there. There's no way you're gonna tell me you're gonna survive. You taking these nature building pills, these horny pills, and you putting all these laced drugs in your system, be it marijuana, cocaine, whatever you take. Everything they're putting out there has all these side effects. Now, if certain drugs already thin in your blood and you're taking it and it's got you so relaxed, then you're going to take something to get your blood pumping even faster, 3 or 4 times as fast. Okay, stay with me. Y'all don't think that's going to be a problem? They have more people, young people in the hospital from heart complications these days. And it's gotten so bad, a lot of times the doctors don't even know what's happening. They can't put a finger on it. It's because of all them drugs they're on. And the distraction that they did, the distraction that they threw out there to put out some drugs that will make it very noticeable to everybody, which is crystal meth. You know, they want everybody to look at that. They want to put it out there, but they don't want y'all really taking this to take y'all mind off all this other recreational drug use. And then the youth or the young adults on all these media platforms promoting these honey packs and all these other things, even though they're not even taking it, they just doing it. Man, what is on my floor? I gotta clean this floor. It's bothering me. They're taking all these drugs, making y'all think that they're taking it. Now y'all are out here trying it. These people ain't taking those drugs. Y'all don't be fooled. And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about stuff like that. I ain't gonna pull a Nancy Reagan. If you don't know who that is, pull it up and say no to drugs. But be careful of what you're doing. Be careful what you're doing. The age of social media has gotten younger and younger. The stuff that you see on social media today is ridiculous. Teachers on, everybody, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We can do what we want to do. I got all that. I understand all that. I'm just simply saying, y'all be careful. But I'm going to get off of that. Back to Memorial Day. I hope y'all have a great Memorial Day and stay healthy. Be kind to each other. Treat everyone with respect. If you know how to do that. If you don't, learn to before it's too late for you. Because I'm sure your parents aren't ready to see you in a body bag. That's just real talk right there. Stop messing with people. Keep your hands off people's stuff. But anyway, everybody have a great one. I'm gonna eat my breakfast. Y'all be safe. Bye.